All right.
So, anywho, sorry about the
Technical
difficulties. Trying to run all these cameras is becoming to be.
It's because I'm here.
No, honestly, this thing is always touch and go, really. But
it's a learning experience.
Well, the thing is as the show improves, as we get more likes or follows and subscribers and stuff, we can improve stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just that simple.
Which after y'all watch this, make sure y'all like and share because your boys on here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, share.
Right. So we was talking about me being in a trunk.
I mean that that was one incident.
Trunk of a car, but Jesus, it's doing it again. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I don't know why it does that.
You think it'll do it on the video, or if it's just
it's
doing
hard to say. I don't know. Anywho, I'm not gonna worry too much about it.
Yeah, we'll live with it.
It's not like I have a sponsor or anything like that. That I'm really like hosing right now. So this is more or less to just whatever. But it is what it is. It's fine. I don't know if it make a difference to plug this in somewhere else or what. I don't know. It's stopped now, so
I know how to open up Facebook and read emails.
Yeah, I'm not a techno wizard.
Not at all.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Pretty much. So, anywho, I guess we'll switch gears a little bit, and I don't know what the hell is going on in the world nowadays, man. You got people trying to do good out here, trying to help their community. Still
Nip
get murked. Nip's one. Nipsey Hussle is the most recent one, but I think that's how it's always gone. Where
the good die young.
They did that to Jesus.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Since you said that, let me. I've been thinking about this, because they talked about the controversies.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about the gang related shit. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, man, and I've seen this, and just to give a little insight, yes, I am a former member of the Gangsta Disciples. Putting it out there. I now honor the Honorable Larry Hoover and his new vision and growth and development, where I can better my city, and make changes in my community. But growing up, I've seen this is what it all boils down to is jealousy and envy. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Look at Michael and Fredo. Look at who killed Paul Castellano, John Gotti, his people. Who turned on John Gotti? Sammy the Bull, his people. Who turned on Jesus? One of his 12. See, when you're out there doing something and you got one of yours next to you, they're looking at like, we're on the same page. Why don't I have the same things? Why don't I have the same power?
So you think it has a lot to do with just plain old-fashioned envy?
Fashion envy. And then they talked about, how this dude...
I need to get, more security.
Well, and they talked about how old boy tried to do music with Nip back in the day.
Right.
And Nip wasn't having it. Mm-hmm. Nip was like, he was snitch, whatever. I don't know that whole story.
Right.
But he was like, we in the same neighborhood. Why? And that envy and jealousy came over, and that anger took over, and boom.
Why
there
don't people
you go.
Just work harder?
That's a good question.
See, now you're asking too much.
That's a good question.
I'm asking people too much to work harder.
Absolutely. When people think,
I thought that would be pretty simple.
I grew up next door to you. We had the same upbringing. We had the same everything. There's no reason you should have what I don't have.
Right.
There's no reason. And in people's mind, this is that it's a culmination of we should be on an even keel, an even playing field. No.
Right.
I might have a talent you don't have. I might have an ability you don't have. I might just have a drive you don't have. So in people's mind, they don't see he put in the effort or he focused on this or he worked towards this goal. They just see you got it, I want it, fuck you.
Yeah. Point blank.
So either we can get it together or I can take it from you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't it just be simpler to just work harder?
I mean, it would. But sometimes the mentality is okay. For a perfect example, we talk about how we all grew up together. Mm-hmm. We all had our parents, me included. My father, my mother. Boom, grew up. We didn't grow up, not without. Right. We weren't balling, but we had. Mm-hmm. Now me, I took a different turning point because yes, one of the neighborhoods I did live in was riddled with gangs, and I didn't want to join a gang at that time, and so they would beat me up. Y'all know the story.
Right. To be honest, like for a long time, I wondered about that, and I think it has a lot to do with like I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
Compared to average size guys, so for me it just never appealed to me. I'm not finna take orders from you. I don't know you.
Right.
You don't sign a check for me, so. No.
Yeah.
But for other people, it's like I'm not gonna keep getting my ass whooped out here in these months. I'm about to click up.
And that's and that's exactly what happened. I was at some kind of citywide thing where the churches brought all these people together from the community, and it was all hood people. You know what I mean? And they were there, and they were jumping me again.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, though, this other group came out and started fighting them, and picked me up, brushed me off, asked me if I was okay. Come to find out, it was my cousin's homeboys, which were the Gangsta Disciples. Brushed me off, and I'm like, fuck. So I started hanging with my cousin a little bit more, and I started noticing these cats weren't messing with me as much. So I'm like, this is, fear drove me, and this is just the God's honest. I was afraid. And fear drove me into that because my dad was there, but my dad worked like 3 jobs, and a parent can only do so much.
You know what I mean?
And I got to leave the house.
Right.
So I said from here on out, and then the mentality clicked. I will no longer become the prey. I will now be the predator.
Right.
And I built a character.
Right.
That's just being honest. I built a character, but then I started becoming that character.
Yeah.
Like, and I started becoming that person, and that's what took off, and then started drinking later in life. And when the drinking came in, oh Lord,
right,
I can do anything now. I got that liquid courage.
Superman, yeah.
But
I got that Superman juice.
When people, I feel join gangs. It's only a few reasons why. In California, it's neighborhood. That's just the way, and people don't understand. In California, the Crips started off as an ideal of the Black Panther.
Policing, yeah. They were a neighborhood policing unit.
Crips stands for Community Revolution Party in a Service. And that's what it stood for. They were like what's his name? Raymond Lee Washington started the Crips. But he was looked at the Black Panthers. Mm-hmm. And so that's what they wanted to do. And then they seen Geronimo Pratt and them getting shot at, and they're like, I don't know about all this. Right. And then the crack came into the 80s, and that's when it switched up. Same thing with the Vice Lords. The Vice Lords in Chicago were the first gang. And then before the GDs. And they were the ones that started up stores and started up the morning breakfast for the kids, and this and that. And the GDs did the same thing, too. They were King Hoover, which was a supreme gangster, and then you had David Barksdale, which was a devil disciple, and they say they became one, and that's where Gangsta and Disciple came from. You know what I mean? But they wanted to better their community, but once again, crack came in.
You know what? That's what always, like when you watch coverage of any type of gang affiliation on the news, they always try to paint this picture that gangs are just these violent thug groups that go around and wreak havoc on their community.
Right.
Most gangs, from my understanding, came from police in their neighborhoods. They was tired of getting their heads cracked.
They're trying to get their head cracked by the police.
Just
by the police.
By oh, what are you doing on this corner?
Exactly. Oh. Yeah. And so you had some brothers.
That's where they came from.
You had some brothers that were like, fuck this. And they had some street in them because they came from nothing. They have poverty. So they saw not an up. So what less to do but fight?
And that's my problem when people try to when they talk about the Black Panthers.
Right.
The Black Panthers was a
policing.
They weren't
Black Panthers.
They weren't domestic terrorists.
It started with a little girl. It started with a little girl getting hit by a car. Okay. and Bobby Seale and them started doing stop signs, and they all would take turns, and they all grouped up together, and they did a petition and finally got a stop sign, and then they were like, listen, we got this stop sign put in our community. What else can we do?
Right.
What else can we get down in our? So they clicked up, and it came from that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of these gangs come from that. You know,
just taking care of their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Here's the problem I have is that the gangs and
street.
Let me clarify.
That's how they start.
Let me clarify. That's where I'm going with this. Is that this is where they originated from?
Right.
Protecting our own, policing our own, and keeping our own communities safe, so that we don't have to call outside sources to say, hey, we got an incident here. No, you call Lil JoJo down the block. Right. Lil JoJo, Ray Pookie, and all them come down and they handle it.
Yeah. Someone's breaking into the houses, whatever.
Come over here. Come here and let me holler at you. You breaking in houses, I need you to fix that window, put everything back in the house. Exactly. That's where they originated.
Yeah.
Somewhere that idea got perverted. Somewhere that idea took a sharp left. And now it became, like you said, crack came in. It became about money and power.
Money and power.
And then from money and power,
what does that lead to? Greed.
Money and power breeds envy and jealousy and greed.
Thank you.
And then it's a perverted version of itself. Now, these fuckers are killing each other for
nothing, bro.
Nothing.
See, and when I was coming up, we had laws.
In your generation, it came from a sense of protection.
Right.
It stemmed from and I've heard other people say it's a lot of cats in Chicago is like, man, if I wanted to go to school, it's like I gotta walk by 3 different houses. Yeah. That's all different gangs. Right. He's like, shit, how can I walk through 3 different houses and say I'm not a gang member when I got 3 motherfuckers coming off the stoop to fuck with me? He's like 3 different project buildings. Yeah. He's like, so the only way I could go to school without problems was to join, affiliated. You know? Again, it came from a sense of community policing and protection. Yep. And again, it just got perverted somewhere along the line, and I hate it.
And the sad thing is, once the leaders started to realize what they've done and try to change it, it was too late. Look at Tookie Williams. The man wrote children's book and got a Nobel Peace Prize, fam. Nobel Peace Prize.
Still getting pardoned. Still couldn't get pardoned.
Still got fried at the electric chair or gas chamber, whatever they did to the man.
Mm-hmm. But he killed people, though, didn't he?
He allegedly ordered. Okay. Same with Larry Hoover. Allegedly ordered. Okay. Now, Larry Hoover was in prison. He was in Joliet and realized what he did. So he changed the views of what he had. And then he came up with 21st Century Vote. 21st Century Vote was for them niggas to get out and vote. Yeah. And to start getting in the community. And he says, when you pick up a ballot and put down a gun, that's when they got scared.
That's when you got power.
And then that's when they came and took Larry and put him in Florence, Colorado, 23-hour lockdown. Mm-hmm. That was in 1989. Mm-hmm. Still 23-hour lockdown, bro, because he started talking positive shit. Same thing with Jeff Fort, the leader of the Vice Lords. 23-hour lockdown, same place as Larry Hoover is, because he started talking about positive things. Mm-hmm. And these people listened to him.
Well, see, that's what I was going back to, was once you start inflicting like some type of positive change, that's when they come and get you.
That's when they come and get you.
So
they don't mind if you're out there killing.
If this show ever goes in a positive direction, it's over.
That's why I'm going to stay on fuck shit forever.
That's why I'm a former, but I still stay strapped.
I mean, true. I mean,
I keep at least a 9.
They don't care if you out there killing yourself. Exactly. That's fine. That's okay. But once you start talking, and that's why these young, there's not even gangs no more. It's clique. Because it's so beat into their mind that there's no way out. Listen, man, if you would take a young kid, age 12 or 13 from the hood, and take him to some place that is beautiful, Hawaii or something like that, or take him and show him Atlanta, Georgia, mm-hmm. where the mayor's black, where the chief of police is black, where, you know, all these are black, where you go and you go to these suburbs and see these houses that these black folks are living in. Yeah. They might have saying, but they never leave their hood.
Exactly.
They never leave their hood.
All they know is this.
Say all they know is this
radius.
bubble, and they think that the bubble's all that is their life, and they can't get out of it. Mm-hmm. And if they start seeing, but where's the leaders to show them, and where's the avenues to show them these things?
Leadership starts at home. Hold on, I got to touch on this real quick. That leadership starts.
I
at home.
agree 100%.
Before you start looking outside for somebody to guide you,
I agree.
There should be some person. If it's a single parent home, you need to be the one saying, "Hey, this ain't all there is to be. There's more to the world." My dad made sure, because my mom ain't seen shit. My mom went from Alabama to here. Mm-hmm. My dad was the one who was like, "Come on, we're going. Come on, get in the car. Come on." My dad we'd be sitting on the couch. I've got stories I could tell for days. My dad we'd be sitting on the couch watching TV and a commercial come on for Niagara Falls. And I'd love it because I know what's about to happen next. He's getting ready to look over at me and he looked down. He's like, "We ain't been there yet, have we?"
Right.
Nope.
Right.
And he yelled at my mom, "Pack a bag." And I could hear her from the back room go, "Damn, where are we going?" Because I know we getting ready to go somewhere else. Next thing I know, we in Canada. Next thing I know, we in Niagara Falls. We in New York. Right. We in somewhere. See? I've been telling people I've been going to Atlanta since I was 6.
Yeah,
I love it. It's my second home.
I did some shit here and I had to move about this mug for a while, and that's where I went was Atlanta. But I was already at an age, man, where I was already fucked up.
Where I'm going with this is that starts at home. Your guidance starts at home. Your leadership starts at home. Somebody I ain't gotta say you don't have to be. Let me clarify. There should be somebody in your household trying to show you a different way of life.
And if it's not even a vacation,
it's not. It doesn't have to be a vacation.
Go to the museum.
You can go across town.
Go to a museum.
I know what you guys are saying.
You can go across town.
What you guys are saying speaks to the mentality.
It speaks to mentality.
You
don't have to be able to afford a plane ticket, but you can afford a tank of gas to go across town. Right.
And
show them the rich folks' houses.
Here in the current era, we've had a black president, and still we have this defeatist mentality.
Yeah,
it's like this mentality of you're a certain color, so you're supposed to act a certain way. No, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Man. Come on, that's bullshit.
We were talking about earlier that real nigga persona.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that.
Right. You saying this to be a real nigga to get shot at, stabbed, go to prison. So you think that sounds fun? What the fuck?
An example.
That's not fun.
It was an example where a friend of mine, we was talking about music, right? And another homeboy of mine was like, "Oh yeah, hey, I got a homie in Louisville." And he was saying how Phil Collins is coming in concert.
Right.
Now, some people might not know who that is. Whatever. I'm an older gentleman, but I grew up listening to all kinds of music.
Yeah.
So, somebody says, "Oh, Phil Collins is gonna be here in concert." I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
And then like somebody else will chime in and be like, "Why?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, black folks' music. Wait a minute, man. Music is for
music
everyone.
is music.
You know what I'm saying? Music is for everyone. If you like it, you like it. It doesn't matter.
Bro, I don't give a fuck what you say. If you grew up in a certain age and you bumped one time, "Welcome to the Jungle."
Right. I mean,
everybody bumped that shit, bro. Come on, man. Everybody bumped some Guns N' Roses.
Broaden your horizons,
Nirvana, come on, man.
Don't just listen to Lil Uzi Squirt and think like he's it. That's it, man. Right. That's just, to me, that's not even hip-hop.
That's not even music, bro.
But I mean, that's a whole nother topic. I'm just saying, as far as music genre,
right?
But
I see
you
what
might hear something that you like and might resonate.
Ideology
with
of a black man, right?
Rap or R&B. You can't just turn a blind eye to it because it was made by a white person.
And that's the whole thing. The ideology of that. If you do things that are out of the black neighborhood, you're not black.
Right. That's
bullshit.
Who the hell would grow up in the hood their whole life, right? Go and make something of themselves where they can afford to move out of the hood and then stay.
Ice Cube.
No, Ice Cube don't live in the hood.
No, Ice Cube stayed after he
Nipsey.
But look what happened to Nipsey too. But Ice Cube did stay in the hood after he was successful. He was like, "I stay in the hood." Man, they robbed his house. Okay, I'll give you a prime example. There was a dude in Louisville. After the second time I moved to Louisville, I used to always, when I go visit our partners down there, I'd ride around the West End, Louisville, and I noticed it was this one house that stood out like a motherfucker. It didn't belong there.
Right.
Just big gated, and it's just in the heart of the hood.
Right.
And I'm like, why the fuck? The dude apparently came into a lot of money, and he always told people, I'll never leave the hood. I love the hood. I love the West End. So he tore down his house and built this giant fucking house in the middle of the hood. But I was like, do you understand that your property value
just got
is
smoked.
Shit now?
Right.
Like, your house ain't worth
nothing.
This house that you just spent $150,000 or $200,000 is worth $30.
But for those who don't know, this is what it means to be upside down on your mortgage. Because you are not gonna get what you put in.
Right.
Nobody's gonna buy that. All you can do is pass it over.
You're not gonna get that money back. It's a wrap now.
But we have to change the way of thinking. You know, I hate to say this, and this just goes, and I know we're going to talk about the gang culture and all that, but I think this is a very important thing. You know, I now work at a sober living home. I've been sober myself, and you know, I've changed my life, and it's so sad because
how long you been sober, man?
In May, I have 9 years.
9 years sober.
9 years.
Dang,
That's
bro,
beautiful, man.
that's crazy. Thank you. But the young brothers that come in, you know, they stop drinking, but they still have that same mentality, and they think it's weak to change themselves within. And I'm doing everything I can to be like, listen, man, there's more to life
Right.
than this street.
Just being ignorant.
Right. There's more to life than this, man. You know, go to a play. Go watch the Philharmonic. Go to the zoo with your child. I'm so glad I was a deadbeat dad, bro.
You were so glad you were a deadbeat.
I'm glad I was a deadbeat dad.
Because
For years, y'all know I didn't see my boy.
Right.
But if I was in his life at that point in time, I would have put my poison into him. Okay. Luckily,
fair enough.
Luckily,
I can respect
luckily
that.
he had a family that, you know, he grew up with, and now I'm blessed to be in his life where I can teach him, look, your dad went down this path, and if I ever see you try to go, and he's a good boy, yeah, you know, my boy is a great boy.
Yeah.
I would beat his ass, and I told him that, you know, and so I'm like I said, I'm glad I wasn't in his life because I would not have wanted to poison him. Okay. I remember when he was 2 years old, I'd put the little blue bandana around his neck and stuff, you know, and just dumb shit. Ignorant. Ignorant. You know?
At least you're honest about
it.
Yeah,
but
honest.
But that's the whole thing, though.
Right.
I look at life now, why not be? Because the black community holds shit in. If you have a cousin that's on drugs, Junebug just fucked up. They don't try to get Junebug help.
No.
They just push it under the rug.
They know Junebug crazy as shit. They know he needs a mental evaluation.
That's true.
Junebug stay over there with grandma now.
Right. But we speak behind the backs, but we never and the community come together and be like, how the fuck can we help Junebug? What can we do to get him out of this?
That is true.
Well, I mean, I can think of some ways to help him.
You know?
I can think of some ways.
You know?
Shit.
They might not be conventional, but
right.
It'll definitely awaken him to some other possibilities other than that pipe.
I hear you, you know, but it's
first
just,
off, how about we stop giving Junebug money to buy more drugs?
Well, of course.
Like who stop enabling them?
Grandma gets Junebug drugs or drug money.
But see, and that's true, and that's true.
Like, look, no,
but we also can't turn a blind eye to it, though.
No,
I mean, we can't. Well, of course, we need to stop giving Junebug money.
You're right. Don't give him more money.
And we need to stop, you know, just being like, well, Junebug, look, but see, and then we always say, what we always say, oh, Junebug just being Junebug.
Uh-huh.
No,
everybody know he crazy. Whole neighborhood know he batshit crazy.
But he on that shit.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean? And I've come to learn because we don't talk about mental health in the black community.
Not at all.
We don't talk about that.
We just chalk it up to that's your crazy uncle, that's your crazy cousin. You know that boy Touch.
Listen, on the news, was it today or yesterday? I seen, and I just knew for a fact it was a white man that threw that little child over the.
Jesus.
Did you hear about that in the Mall of America?
Oh yeah, the third floor balcony.
The third floor balcony just picked that kid. It was a
black
dude.
Yeah, black dude.
And I just,
was he a drug addict or something?
I don't know. Mental health.
You gotta be crazy to
health.
just toss a kid.
They said mental health, but we don't talk about that. He just stayed in the back room.
That's mama's special baby.
That's mama's special baby that stayed in the back room.
That's a crazy son of a bitch.
Is that what we gonna call it? Mama's special baby?
That's what they call. That's what it's always been. Man. We just now started doing medication in the last 10, 15 years. Yeah. They just started putting these little crazy cocksuckers on medication.
Listen.
Ritalin and shit.
I understand crazy, but my mental health is something people can't help.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean? They
not...
really can't help it, and it's sad to see people that go through it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that we need to speak on it more and realize it is a problem in our community and shit.
Absolutely. I don't take it lightly. I worked in that field. I've seen these little crazy fuckers, and I'm like. I've had a couple that scared the shit out of me. I'm like, this little motherfucker's off his rocker, off her rocker. I had one we had to restrain, and I was just like, fuck you. It ain't nothing you can do for her.